January 13th Board of Supervisors meeting. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Carroll.
Here.
Supervisor Diaz.
Presented.
Supervisor Miller. Here. Supervisor Valadez.
Present.
Chair Bronson. Here. Let the record show all members are present.
Please rise for the invocation to be offered by Pastor Jim Brower of Desert Valley Adventist Church, with the Pledge of Allegiance to follow, to be led by Supervisor Miller.
Bow our heads. Father, thank you for another beautiful day that we have to live here in Tucson. Now, Lord, we pray that you will meet us here as this board wrestles with issues that are important to all of us. So, Lord, give us wisdom. Help us to know how to apply it. And thank you, Father, for just being our best friend in life. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pause for pause, and we'll meet Hyper. Officer Carver, you're back with us. Tell us about Hyper. Recent Hyper. Oh, Gorda. Recent Hyper. Never mind. I'm just not reading properly. Sorry, Officer Carver.
That's all right. All right, we have Gorda here. Gorda is a little female pit bull mix, and there was a note on the card. She actually has been with us since July, which is an incredibly long time for a dog to be in a shelter setting. She was adopted once, and she was returned because she was a little too hyper for their 4-year-old. I don't see that in this, but I'm not a 4-year-old. But since then, she is just one of the favorites among all the volunteers that come in and help out at the shelter. And in fact, one of them has donated a $100 gift card to anyone that adopts her to go towards her training. Right now, she has been doing tricks for us here. Let's see if we can get her to perform. Gorda, can you sit? Good girl. I think she's a wonderful dog. We took her out for a walk this morning. She walks around. As soon as we got outside, she relieved herself outside, which tells me that she is, in all likelihood, house trained, which is a big benefit. I haven't seen any adverse behavior from her at all. She seems to love everyone she comes in contact with. Young man back here was giving her treats earlier and getting her to perform just like I did. Not that I have some kind of dog whisperer skills here, but due to the fact the amount of time she's been with us, she's up for adoption for only the cost of her license. $15 out the door, covers the space surgery, microchip identification, one free vet visit for a checkup to make sure everything's good there, not that we're seeing anything, but and a month of pet insurance to give you a chance to try that out and see if you want to go that route on it. I think she would make a wonderful addition to anybody's family. Start out the new year with a new companion to assist you in those New Year's resolutions to get more exercise, go out walking. I think Gorda would fit the bill in all those. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Carter. And Happy New Year.
You too.
We have...
Haven't I seen Joe Snell walking around without a dog? I mean, I'm just thinking. And then the other thing that strikes me is that the red flower on the collar is kind of like the red poppy on Chris's hat. So, it's another option, Chris. Just trying to create some opportunity for you guys. Anyways.
Thank you, Supervisor Elias. There are a number of requested amendments to the January 13th, 2015 agenda and addendum. On the consent calendar, page 1, item 1, contract and award. This is a correction to the funding source. The funding source should be General Fund 67% and U.S. Department of Labor 33%. In the addendum agenda on page 2, item 10, under contract and award county attorney, again a correction to the funding source. The funding source for the Pima Foundation, Inc. should be federal grant funds, not special revenue funds. And on page 3, item 13, again of the addendum agenda, contract and award procurement. This is a correction to the termination date. The termination date is 12/15/16, not 2/23/16. So if there are no objections, we'll amend the agenda as indicated, as I just indicated. No objections, fine. I want to move to the addendum agenda very quickly now to items 3, 4, and 5 on the addendum agenda under Flood Control District Board. This is an FTZ agreement for property tax amendment. Same item 4 as Library District Board, Foreign Trade Zone agreement for property tax abatement. And then as Board of Supervisors, sitting as the Board of Supervisors under County Administrator, item 5, Foreign Trade Zone agreement for property tax abatement. Mr. Huckleberry, comments? We have several speakers.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, this is an item that is a property tax reduction incentive to incentivize a new employer to relocate to the region. The new employer is Home Goods. They will build a new facility of approximately 800,000 square feet on vacant land just northeast of the international airport. They are a distributor and of products that are used in Home Goods, TJ Maxx and Marshalls. They will invest approximately $79 million in capital funding, construction or equipment purchases within the next 2 years, and they will begin employment with 410 employees and grow to approximately 800 within about 5 years, peaking at about 900 employees when they're in full operation in probably about 10 years or less. Much of how they grow in the Southwest depends largely on their products and sales. They anticipate this particular location will be their West Coast distribution center, and I have provided with you, dissimilar from past foreign trade zone incentive packages, performance standards that are actually included in the agreement that specify a minimum capital investment, a minimum equipment investment, a minimum number of employees retained or paid over a period of 15 years. Benefits that are actually required to be paid by the employer, such as health insurance, dental insurance, 401k contributions, and the like. The Home Goods executives and TJ Maxx executives have agreed to that incentive package, and this is a property tax reduction that will be over a period of 15 years, and it will expire at that time. What we've done in this case is we've done in similar cases, we have held the educational institutions harmless, which simply means that they get the same amount of property taxes had the property been taxed at the commercial rate of 18% assessed value. That would include JTED and Sunnyside School District, as well as Pima Community College. We have provided the county's taxes as this incremental reduction as an incentive. It is the largest incentive that's being provided to the firm. And if you look at the sheet that talks about taxes before and taxes after, I think the good news is that the taxes on this vacant piece of property, the county taxes, are $36,000, and post actual improvement with the foreign trade zone property tax reduction, those taxes will go to $207,000. So this is probably as close to a win-win-win situation as I think we can achieve. So I recommend the item to you for all of our taxing districts, and have suggested that the City of Tucson follow suit But again, we offer by largest the largest incentive package.
Thank you, Mr. Huckleberry. We do have several speakers, and I want to ask that Robert Lenhard approach and speak, followed by Steve Agan, followed by Executive Director or CEO of TRIO, Joe Snell.
My name is Robert Lenhard. For the past 32 years, I have been involved as a financial intermediary in Tucson, which simply means I've assisted hundreds of business sales and purchases. I wanted to relay to you a situation with which I was dealing last year. And it involved a small manufacturing company here in Tucson who engaged me to help them sell their business. The elderly owner had decided it was time to retire and accordingly asked me to attempt to find a purchaser. I did so, and I found a party in Atlanta, Georgia, who made 2 trips to Tucson, looked at the company, liked the financial data, liked the company, felt that he could operate it successfully, and then he engaged in a process which we refer to as due diligence. He performed a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and targets. In the course of his SWOT analysis, he ran across a number of situations here in Tucson and Pima County that seriously alarmed him. The first was the fact that he said, I'm looking to make a very significant capital investment in Tucson with respect to the acquisition of this company. But he said, I really think that I'm unable to pursue the matter further because as I read the news and explore the internet, I learned that Tucson has significantly voted against the Rosemont mine. Now, of course, that's Hud Bay. The Grand Canyon University declination had just occurred. And then he said, with respect to the Air Force and the F-35, he said, Pima County strikes me as though it is an environment not terribly conducive to conducting business, and therefore, I'm going to look more seriously at Maricopa County. He said, I just cannot risk my significant investment in an area that is apparently not business friendly. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Mr. Agan?
Good morning, my name is Steve Agan, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address the board. I am a retired Raytheon CFO. I've been in Tucson for over 23 years. I'm now an independent consultant within the aerospace and defense area, and also a member of the TRIO board. And I'm here representing myself as well as members of the TRIO board in support of this proposal. I think it's very important with what we can do with this particular company coming into the Tucson region. It brings in excellent opportunities for employment. It brings in excellent opportunities for potential growth, and I think that this initiative will be positively received in the community, as well as what its impact will be, the economic impact that it will bring to this region. So I urge you to support this proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Snell?
Joe Snell, 120 North Stone. Chair Bronson, Supervisors, Happy New Year. I hope we have a prosperous 2015. I also echo the comments of Mr. Agan and urge you to support this foreign trade zone pilot. I think Mr. Huckleberry has done a good job of outlining the economic ramifications of this project. This is a significant project that's been underway for about a year now, and I want to specifically take some time to thank many of you. Thank Sharon Bronson, Ramon Valadez, Chuck Huckleberry, Ray Carroll, others that have worked on this behind the scenes in one way or another. This was a multi-state competition for this project, and frankly, we could use this shot in the arm at this time. Nearly 1,000 jobs and $1 billion impact doesn't come around very often. And I really appreciate the work that the county has done in economic development the last several years. This will strengthen our position as a logistics center, adding to companies like La Castenia and Target.com. And I think it'd be really great for the community, and thank you for your consideration in supporting this.
Madam Chair? I have a
Supervisor
question for
Miller.
Mr. Snow. It was some information that you had put forth that it was going to have an economic impact of $873 million. The question is, do you have a copy of that analysis? I would like to get a copy of that.
I believe the county has a copy of that. So
we do, because we didn't get it in the background material, but I would like a copy of that. I just have to say that, and then the other question, and I'll have to ask Mr. Huckleberry afterwards, so I won't bother you with it, it's related to that, but I have to say that in analyzing this, I think a job well done in negotiations and making sure that we get a really good benefit in Pima County, and that jobs are coming and that we ensure those benefits are provided over that time, so great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Snell. What's the pleasure of the board?
Madam Chair?
Supervisor Valadez and Supervisor Miller.
Madam Chair, as Joe indicated, the county has stepped into the fray of economic development over the last several years, and that's become as a direct result of the business roundtable that you, Mr. Huckleberry, and I've had beginning in about 2009. Obviously, we have taken a more active role because that was the recommendation that we do and that we needed to do. Because there wasn't any other entity in our region that had the capability or the ability to do it. This is a wonderful example. It's taken about a year to get put together, but I think it's going to have a very positive impact on our employment base, on our economic impact, and I look forward to many future successes in terms of our economic development strategy. With that, I had the opportunity to speak with the COO of this organization last week, and I welcomed him to our community. And with that, I want to make a motion to approve item number 3, number 4, and number 5 on the addendum agenda. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Supervisor Miller, I believe you have some questions.
I just had one question for Mr. Huckleberry. The beginning of the tax reduction is 19% and it phases down to 5%. Could I get the schedule of that? Because that wasn't in the background material, and just when that happens, when it goes from, I'm sure it goes 19 to 10 or whatever, I'd just like to get a copy of that schedule.
Yes, so Madam Chair and Supervisor Miller, it's effective immediately. In other words, it goes into effect as soon as they go on the tax roll as a new building. So it goes from 19 to 5%, and that's part of the the economic incentive package. And
So only the first year is 19%?
No, it's for the first year through 15. But to get that each year, they have to meet minimum performance standards with regard to investment, equipment, payroll, and number of employees as well as benefits.
And then after year 15, it goes to 5.
After year 15, it goes back to 19%.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair?
Supervisor Elias.
Just for procedure's sake, I'd like to note that item 3 is under the Flood Control District Board that we're acting as, and item 4, the Library District Board. And then the final one, sitting as the Board of Supervisors. Just so that's clear for the record and for the public.
Thank you, Supervisor Elias. Is there any further discussion? There's a motion to approve those 3 items. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. We'll now move on to our regular agenda and call to the public. Joanne Schultz. And let me remind you, you have 3 minutes. Make sure your testimony is pertinent and that you abide by the rules of civility. Thank you.
Good morning, members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Joanne Schultz, and I'm on the staff of Reed Park Zoo. And I'm here this morning to encourage you to go forward with the 2015 bond election. My role at the zoo is that I'm the grant writer, so I have the opportunity to see the limitations of the current resources that we have at the zoo, but I also have the wonderful opportunity of being able to share the wonder of the zoo in its current state, and to be able to talk about the plans for the future with the zoo. And we have some wonderful plans for expanding exhibits, for bringing in new animals, and for creating new sources of revenue to support the zoo. But it really depends on having the financing available through the 2015 bond. So it's very important to us, as well as many other institutions in the community, and really important in terms of maintaining the vibrancy of these community institutions and allowing them to grow and get better. So I want to thank you for all the good work that you do on behalf of Pima County and its citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Lou Sampson.
Hi, my name is Lou Sampson. I'm from Green Valley. I want to thank Supervisor Miller for bringing the discretionary spending policy out in the open, because as a taxpayer, it's interesting to see where my money's going. I read the three options that were given to you by Mr. Huckleberry. And the first option was just to continue what you're doing, which we know that the Goldwater Institute is going to have a lawsuit if you do, and Goldwater does not frivolously threaten a lawsuit, so they must have some leg to stand on. Now, option number two looked to me, just as a personal, to me, it looked just like a throwaway option or a filler, because it just is so blatantly a political ploy, to another way to spend taxpayers' money, moving it from one account to another. And then I thought, well, maybe if it is the advice that Mr. Huckleberry has been giving you for over 2 decades, maybe that is why we have the highest gas taxes and the highest property taxes and the most bonded indebtedness of any county in the state. And the number 3 option is the only one that I could see that is the viable option for any of you to vote on, because it means that you are exercising your fiduciary responsibilities to take care of our taxpayers' money in a responsible and prudent way. So it's a very simple answer to me, and I hope you can vote for number 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Please abide by the rules of civility, and that is not abiding by the rules of civility. I appreciate your support of the speaker, but again, please abide by the rules of civility.
Good morning. Madam Chairman and Board of Supervisors, my name is Jerry Achaboni, and I live in Oro Valley. And I'm thinking apparently we, the taxpayers, are paying you all, supervisors, too much money. If you can donate our taxpayer dollars to your favorite charities, which they in turn donate back to a campaign, this smells a little bit of old fish. Here's a list of other monies donated with our tax dollars: flowers, Fox Theater, poetry. I mean, I have 2 pages of all of these various donations by Mr. Elias and Madam Bronson. But anyway, Mr. Huckleberry has come up with a couple of different ideas. We are over $1 billion in debt. And the ideas that Chuckle Huckleberry has come up with, according to what I've heard on the radio, are still against the gift clause. Here's another suggestion: pay down the debt. You're using our money. We are not allowed to vote. Supervisors vote on a charity that, that we're not really for. It will be the same in this new one. It will be the same as the 3-2 supervisor vote that they had before. Nor the counties in Arizona engage in this practice of taking taxpayer dollars and give it to the pet charities, which in turn they assist you with your campaign. I don't think your behavior is more fair and appropriate than the other counties. The other counties are in tune to what their constituents as they are following the gift law. Also, perhaps some of you may have been in office too long and have forgotten that you are there to represent us. You have put us in debt, raised our property tax above what a watchdog organization has stated, and now you want to push through a $600 million to $700 million, not $700,000, but $700 million bond that you're conning Marana and Oro Valley with a few million dollars to pass. Perhaps you need to learn from the other counties what appropriate behavior concerning discretionary spending is. Thank you.
Richard Hernandez.
Good morning. I'm Richard Hernandez. I live in Pima County. I hope you enjoyed your break. I did. Sorry I missed meetings, but Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's was important for me to spend with my family and friends. But I'm back. I am back to reaffirm my commitment to my community. As most of you know, I've knocked on thousands of doors in my community. I speak frequently. Once a month, I meet with the Sunnyside community at the public library, and I'm not even an elected official. But I'm reaffirming my commitment to them, my New Year's resolution. And I'm going to suggest a New Year's resolution for this board. Sharon, maybe this year you won't use a gavel so quickly so that you can hear the people. Maybe this year you will work just as hard to represent the poor, the Hispanics, all minorities, people who really need you, not just the affluent. Ray, I don't know what to say. It seems like as long as you vote against Ali, you're good. Maybe this year you can reach out and try to work on some things that you guys can find and you can find in common with Ali. Ramon, I'm in your district, so I have a special sweet spot for you. First of all, I know from now on you'll support Sunnyside kids. Secondly, I want to point out to you that it seems like when I see you vote, it's always the good old boys. So I'm going to kind of suggest the same thing I did to Sharon. People in South Tucson are in crisis right now. How do I know? Because I've knocked on thousands of people's doors in South Tucson, not in the city of Tucson, but in South Tucson. That's your district. They need you. Reach out. I have the mayor's cell phone number if you'd like it. Allie, people think we're the best of friends. We definitely have our disagreements, which you know and I know. Maybe some of you have heard Gandhi say that a friend who has to agree with you every time is not your friend. Well, that's definitely Allie and I. I respect you, keep working for peace, and keep championing what you do. I'm in your corner. Richard, the king of one-liners. Man, can anybody shake hands and kiss babies if it's as fake as the $3 bill? Let me tell the board what I think you need to do. You need to come down from that penthouse, and you need to let us, the people, out of the basement. Let's meet in the middle this year, and let's make decisions that are good for everybody, not just the good old boys. Sharon, I see the way you smirk at me. I can only read that, but I don't want to say what I'm thinking. Remember, you serve us. We help you, you help us, not just the affluent. So that's my resolution suggestion to the Board of Supervisors. We'll see what you do today, especially on the vote when it comes to charitable donations. I won't be here because I got to take care of a 90-year-old, but we'll read about it. Middle Road, can you work on that this year? Your resolution? Get down from that penthouse.
Your time is up, sir.
Thank you.
Robert Lenhart, did you want to speak at this point? No, I haven't spoken. Okay, thank you. That brings us to a close, a call to the audience. We have several executive session items on the addendum. I'd entertain a motion to move into exec. Motion and a second to convene in exec. If there are no objections, we'll convene in exec and return to regular session at the sound of the gavel.
It's so hard to say today, but I mean, there's only, I say 6 out of 10 are done before 11. Some of them go, we have a couple that go to 2 o'clock. And sometimes the executive session will last. Sometimes they don't.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I have to go to Ducey's State of the State.
Oh, right, yeah, I know it's safe because you know
Out of
that.
Conquistador, so I'm gonna.
We were at the we went to the Arizona Chamber to his and he had his address to the state legislature, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, I failed to mention I'm also going to be director of the chamber, so that's what kind of prompted me with respect to my sharing some comments that I shared this morning. Could have spoken at much greater length about that particular issue, but you're limited to 3 minutes. Otherwise people would get too winded and nobody would have enough time. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
All right.
Have fun at the State of the State.
I hope so.
Are you kidding me right now? Because he wants to be. He's going to go on camera. He's going to talk. He's going to speak as if he's voted against it. He's like, he said, I support the super never vote to. Unbelievable. Are you kidding me right now? Ray's doing that TV interview on KVOA. And you know what he's going to say? He's going to talk. Discretionary spending, I guarantee it. He voted against stopping the practice 2 times he had the chance. And then he gets on, he goes on the radio and talks there. I don't care if you're against, let's just be honest. What? I think they're supposed to be taking these decisions right now. Allie's in the room for it. That's what I just said. Yeah, that's what I do. They vote, they just can't lie about it. That's where they all lie. Ay, caramba.
But so, did you find out for yourself?
All right.